On a foggy morning in the year 1706, the infamous pirate Captain Blackwind stood on the deck of his ship, the Black Serpent. His long coat billowed in the wind, and his sharp gaze pierced through the mist as he scanned the horizon. He was known across the seven seas for his cunning and ruthlessness, but there was one thing he was feared for above all: the legend of his treasure. The treasure, a chest filled with gold, jewels, and ancient relics, was said to be hidden on an uncharted island in the farthest reaches of the Caribbean. Only Captain Blackwind and his trusted crew knew its location. Many ships had tried to follow in his wake, but none had returned. The island was rumored to be cursed, a place where the sea itself seemed to conspire against those who sought the treasure. Among Blackwind's crew was a young, ambitious sailor named Jack Quickshot Malone. Jack had joined the crew 2 years earlier, escaping a life of poverty and desperation. He had proven himself with his skill in marksmanship and his cunning in battle, earning Blackwind's trust. One evening, as the crew gathered for rum and songs, Jack approached the captain with a plan. "Captain," he said, his voice low, "I think it's time we find that treasure. I've been studying the maps and I've noticed something strange. The island isn't as hidden as you think." Blackwind narrowed his eyes. "You think you're smarter than me, lad?" Jack hesitated, but then pressed on. "No, Captain, but I think we've been looking at the wrong map. I believe the island is closer than we thought, just past Devil's Reef." Blackwind grinned, his gold teeth catching the dim light of the lanterns. "You've got guts, Quickshot. Let's see if your map's worth anything." The next day, the Black Serpent set sail toward Devil's Reef. The air grew heavy with tension as the crew sailed closer to the reef. The waves were choppy, and the sky turned a dark shade of purple as if warning them of what lay ahead. The crew murmured among themselves, but Blackwind was calm. He had survived worse storms, worse dangers, and he wasn't about to be scared off by superstition. Suddenly the lookout cried out, "Land ho!" A jagged silhouette appeared on the horizon, shrouded in mist. The island was real, just as Jack had said. As they approached the shore, the crew noticed something strange. The sand was littered with old, decaying bones, remnants of sailors who had come before them. Yet there was no sign of life, only the whispering winds. Blackwind led the crew through the thick jungle, the dense trees making it hard to see. But Jack, relying on his quick instincts, led the way with a newfound sense of purpose. After hours of trekking, they came to a large cave at the heart of the island. Inside, the faint glow of gold reflected off the walls. But as they ventured deeper, the air grew cold and eerie voices seemed to echo through the cavern. Then they saw it, the treasure chest sitting atop a stone pedestal, glowing with an unnatural light. But the moment they approached, the ground shook violently and shadows leapt from the walls. The treasure was guarded by ancient spirits, the souls of those who had come seeking the chest before them. Jack, with his quick thinking, grabbed a nearby torch and tossed it into the air, creating a burst of light that momentarily stunned the spirits. In that brief moment, Blackwind and his crew rushed forward, lifting the chest and running back toward the beach. As they escaped the cave, the island began to crumble. The spirits wailed, but Blackwind's crew was determined. They made it to the ship, and with a final shout from the captain, they set sail, the treasure secured. But as they sailed away from the island, Jack noticed something strange. Blackwind was looking at the treasure with an almost possessive gleam in his eye. "What's wrong, Captain?" Jack asked. Blackwind turned to him with a sly smile. "The treasure's mine, Quickshot, but there's one more thing I need." Before Jack could respond, the captain ordered the crew to throw the chest into the depths of the ocean. "Not for the likes of you, lad," Blackwind said, his grin widening. "The real treasure was the power all along." And so, Captain Blackwind disappeared into legend, leaving the crew with nothing but the memory of their wild adventure. Some say Blackwind's treasure still lies hidden, but others say that the true treasure was never gold or jewels. It was the power of the captain himself. Hope you enjoyed the story. Would you like to hear more about the crew or their adventures?